Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, this morning. This is Benita Godino, and I'd like to introduce my partner, Mariko Braswell. Together, we form the Asia Pacific Financial Wellness Initiative, and we'd love to welcome you to one of our webinar series on International Women's Day, talking about women and technology. Women in STEM is such an important topic, and it's so important for financial services and digital inclusion as well. So I'm so pleased to have two wonderful women panelists today who are going to discuss a whole lot of questions for us on women and technology. So over to you, Mariko.
Thanks so much, Benita. Our guests will be sharing the positives that they've been seeing, as well as what still needs to be improved upon for gender parity in tech in the region. We are very fortunate today to have with us Monica Jasuja, Head of Product Management, Digital Financial Solutions at Comviva from New Delhi. Also joining us today is Lynette Lee, Ventures Builder at the Innovation Lab at ING, based here in Singapore. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll turn it over to you both. Thanks.
Thank you for the invite, Benita, and thank you for the introduction, Mariko. Hi, I'm Lynette here. I'm a venture builder at ING Bank, and I'm working in the Innovation Lab. Nice to meet you, Monica.
Nice to meet you too, Lynette. I'm a product management head at Comviva, and it's absolutely lovely to be in this conversation with you.
Yeah, it's lovely to see another woman in tech. And yeah, so I was just thinking about it when we were invited for this, like we could touch on like what is tech? What does tech actually means to a lot of women, a lot of people out there, because it's always been like a STEM topic, like what Vanita has mentioned. So maybe we could share about what we think what tech is. That could help us. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, Lynette, it's a often abused word about being in STEM means just generally being a coder and definitely being behind a computer screen the entire day. I think tech now has become a much more evolved set of streams whereby you can actually go from product design all the way up to marketing, for example, and marketing technology, which is called MarTech now, which is also another stream. Now, when we talk about tech and we talk about women involvement, we always talk about STEM because we have girls in tech, we have major initiatives like that. But what we forget is that building out software products or building out for the new consumer internet or building out for an internet economy, which is expected to be billions of dollars in the next couple of years, involves a many set of operations and therefore skill sets, which go much, much beyond learning how to code. Coding is an essential skill. I think most of us who have been or have had tech backgrounds will tell you that it might be an essential entry into the door into some major tech organizations, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't other ways to be able to be part of tech, especially big tech and the local ecosystem. Take my example for I'm a product manager. Product managers are not supposed to be tech oriented. They can be. However, they are supposed to understand the nuances of building out solutions for the entire consumer set or even a business segment. And this involves knowing tech and understanding consumers more than understanding how technology will work in order to deliver that solution. So it's a complex set of how we define tech, and I wanted to dispel the myth that being a technologist necessarily means being able to code and having an engineering degree. That's not required.
Oh, I totally agree with you, because it's the same thing in the labs. Like we have fantastic people in the tech space where they are into service design, customer journey planning. We do the agile thinking. So this is just the soft set skills that's really vital, which women are really good at. So I think that this is a very valuable asset that women bring into the tech space to work alongside. And then of course we have the rest of us women in the mathematical skills, with the science skills, with the coding skills and system engineering, which is fabulous to iron out the harder part of the tech portions to bring forward the digital solutions that comes into the marketplace. And then we have like the other portion where people who are studying law, they were actually in tech too. So it doesn't mean like legal tech. And also at the end of the day, we are looking into a lot of compliance issues in the space, which is great for the tech space. And yeah, so it's not just purely about coding, like what you rightfully say, or just front end developments or back end developments. It's the whole thing to synergize and bring a solution or product to the marketplace that could impact the financial sector or any other sectors for that, especially with this COVID coming around, we need more and more digital solutions. I'm so glad we're aligned on that. So, I mean, one of the things I'm thinking about, like, is only over the recent years where we see this influx of women in the space, and like from sales end to front end to designers to product designs to even on my end. When I first started, I was the only woman in a team of 6 in the venture builders, so it was quite interesting. You learn a lot of hard and soft skills from various end and all the technological building blocks and streamline. So this is really quite fun. So just wondering, what can we improve on to make women less hesitant about coming into this space, or like to find a fit into the various areas? So it'd be quite interesting to think about from your end. How do you see it, particularly since your base is in Delhi, is quite different from mine in Singapore? Yeah.
That's a really interesting question, and the most of the barriers to entry for
Mm-hmm.
women,
Mm-hmm.
especially girls, I think in their younger times when they are actually choosing careers, is
Mm-hmm.
related to thinking and being fearful of technology because of the kind of role models that we have in technology. I
Mm-hmm.
always associate and bring this point forward when we are talking about women in tech, because when you
Mm-hmm.
have role models who are essentially males, you don't feel that the space is meant for you. And technology is far more encompassing than just being going to a particular degree college and understanding and being an engineer. Engineering is an important part of technology, but it's not all just technology. So when I talk to girls, I've been part of many girls for tech programs, they're thinking, this career isn't for us because we've never seen anybody in our family's immediate environment study tech. And that for me is a question because they associate tech with their fathers and
Mm-hmm.
other softer careers for their mothers. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what we need to change, because the minute we start changing that and we start seeing frontline women be in frontline career positions in technology, I think the relatability to us becomes a lot stronger. For me, that seems to be the major stumbling block. The minute we've crossed that, I think then we can come into the field whereby women are choosing careers, and when they're choosing careers, they want to know about what different options exist. And again, I think a little bit of mentoring and coaching goes a long way in actually in helping them choose their careers while they're in college. And then of course keeping women in technology, because they tend to move away from technology during middle management when they have a lot of family and other duties. It becomes a lot of testosterone driven development and an organization, and I know that a lot of organizations including our own is actually trying to help with that. What about you, Lynette? What do you think? How has it happened in your side of the organization, and how have things changed over the last couple of years?
I think the interesting part about in Singapore here for now is that we do have a lot of venture companies, a lot of initiatives, government sectors, even the media groups that set up this mentorship program. And I'm actually sitting on board to mentor a couple of groups. And what I found interesting, there were a lot of women. In fact, one of the team that I was mentoring with Eco Impact, was a group of young ladies that came into this place. And what I found interesting was they were actually majoring in different aspects in school, totally nothing much to do with tech. And they actually have overcome what we first mentioned, the hindrances, the pre-notions in technological space. So they came in with the idea, they've got fantastic, very motivated. So they make use of the skills they have. So what I felt we could do further was I actually did the agile and pace agile methodology to help them fine tune the problems to see what they can do, help them think through what could be done further, what are the steps that's required to develop tech solutions in the space, where's the help that we could actually reach out for. So I think some of this could be improved on, because even for me, when I was giving them the little network of where to go to, the little links, what they should think about, the methodologies and the that could actually help them in this space, it would be great if there was a lot more resources that they can look into, so they are not it's just to defray the fear in that space so that they can do better and they're able to silo and fine tune. And it's interesting that you mentioned about women having to look after households and other aspects. I think this is transcending across whether we're Asian, we're European, we're Americans, whichever country. So it's got that additional level of difficulty for women. We're not going to use that as an excuse, but what can be done to make it better? I mean, for me personally, I myself, I'm a mother of two. I still have to look after the household. I have my work to be done, and So what I found really, really useful, like things that I could improve upon, was using tools that could actually help me along the way to organize. Like I was using a couple of organizational tools. There's some great ones out there between Trello, Asana, Teams. And then I've used a lot of boards that could help me actually synchronize and organize my thoughts in play. And then I could actually silo my work stuff and the home stuff. And because women, for us, we are able to multitask, I thought it was just great because the multitasking aspect that we actually bring into the workplace, we actually learn to speak up and we are able to see things from various views. And I thought that was just fantastic space, especially in tech, where we tend to be very, very silo, like doctors. If you are a surgeon, you practice in one part. So in tech, we tend to have that old mindset. And now with the more women, you get more agility in the space. And I find that it's fantastic. Actually, we actually practice skills in agile space, which is what ING brings to us in the lab. And that works very well for me. And I actually see that my work-life balance is much better along the way. Do you find that in your work-life balance?
I'm calling it work-life integration now. I've forgotten
Okay.
about the balance aspect because
Yeah.
it's one of those oft abused terms, and I'm thinking to
Mm,
myself that because the flex, I have to give it to organizations. We've also got a lot of
mm,
flexibility. So as
mm,
women and even as care providers, I think each one of us, whether it's males or females, I think we need to now break that barrier down. If you're
mm,
a care provider and you have responsibilities, you need flexibility. And I think if COVID has taught us anything, it is the fact that we need to be able to be flexible and be okay with change. And I think the
mm,
change is coming in terms of being also flexible about our work timings, because what happens is that during the day you have certain commitments that you can't let go of. And
yeah.
it's absolutely okay as long as there's trust in the system. And of
Mm,
course, all the organizations have tools whereby you can manage your work and you can manage your family life and
mm,
have none of them suffer. But
mm,
I think as far as the trends that we are seeing, Lynette, this is exactly where I feel that we are now going through a very interesting pattern,
mm,
because most women who were held back by family commitments, be it any family commitment, children or
mm,
senior citizens or parental care or even others,
mm,
suddenly seem to find themselves having career options
yeah.
available. And as far as us we are concerned, we were actually thinking about how can we bring more women into the tech fold, maybe
Mm,
having part-time jobs, maybe having the ability to do flex time, but be able to at least be part of the ecosystem, because the whole
yep.
thinking about having a 9 to 5 job now suddenly needs to change. And that's one of the trends that we are definitely seeing, because women
Mm,
participation in the workforce is definitely going to increase. As far as India is concerned, it has the lowest possible women participation in the workforce all across the globe, which is really, really significant given that about 50% of our population is women.
yeah.
And if we don't
Mm,
have them, then obviously the economic impact of this is really, really huge. But
mm-hmm.
as far as tech is concerned, bringing more women in tech definitely seems to be the flavor of the season, and we should be able to see more women suddenly come back or have returning mothers to work programs that most companies and organizations are taking up, and
Mm-hmm.
also upskilling programs. Now, this is also an extremely
Oh yeah, yeah,
critical part,
totally. Mm,
because if you don't upskill, you suddenly you feel like you've lost the race in terms of being able to be with the others as far as tech movement is concerned, and it's moving very quickly. So these are some of the trends that I'm seeing with regards to the space. What about you, Lynette? How are you seeing the space evolve on the Asia Pacific side?
what I see is on the Asia Pacific side, there is more and more women that's joining into the tech space because it has also expanded, like what you rightfully mentioned, besides fintech, we have edtech, martech, and a lot of other portions. So the skill set that we have has come into play, and also the world is actually converging because of all this digital front that's coming around because of the COVID, as what was mentioned. But I think what we did say mention earlier on about skills, upskilling and improvement, I think that's very vital. More women being able to come into this space is great because we are able to actually make use of tech. Since we're in tech, we have to make use of tech. There's a lot of solutions out there. It'd be great to really scrub in and offer and share the tech solutions that's in the marketplace to help more women come into this space. And it's definitely great space for a lot of women to be, because as usual, most of us women have one thing that's very interesting. Because we multitask, we tend to diverge a lot. And with the tech solutions that's available here and being in this space, if we are able to upskill ourselves and convert our thoughts, we are actually very valuable to this tech industry, because we have this ability to see beyond certain things, to bring it in, and then we just need to sharpen the communication skills so that we could actually convey what we are thinking of. And really, with in this tech space, it will be a waste if we don't use tech. We have to do that. There's plenty of tools around. I'll encourage women who wants to come into the space to really explore anything that could help you, be it workflow organization, boards that could help you, teamwork. So it gives you more time. Actually, I mean, in a way, you can say that tech is actually pressing at this stage, but it actually buys a lot of us a lot more time to be able to multitask even further and do a lot more, in fact. Yeah. So I think in Asia, we're seeing this growth, particularly in Singapore, because it's a city. And we do actually do a lot of communications in various other parts of the world. We have to discuss with people in the language that's required. And tech really totally helps. And this place, a lot of people are much more open and sharing. So I think it's a great space to be in. There's less traditional hiccups in a way. That's how I see tech space. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And I wanted to also understand from you, Lynette, what do you think we can do in order to increase the gender parity in the ecosystem? Because we talk a lot about gender inclusive initiatives. We talk a
Mhm.
lot about bringing women to work, and also bringing women to tech. But what
Mm.
else can be done? What are some of the learnings and what are some of the thinking for the future that you are adopting?
I think one of the key steps for me now is I actually do enjoy one resource that I have, which was chat groups among women in the fintech space, chat groups about with a lot of women in the startup space. So I think this too would really great because we're able to exchange ideas, exchange resources to know much more. I mean, there's only 24 hours a day. We want to scrape information that's vital to us. So it's great when we have a whole group of women, and I think one of my group has like 150. I love it when people are sharing tips from personal investments, managing household, what's going on in the ecosystem between from banking in various countries, education streams. I think that's super, super useful because it's a good start for us to actually think where we want to be and also understand information in the ecosystem. So that's one of the great things where a lot of women should get started. We should have more groups like that so where women can openly share about the information, help one another in this space. I mean, the whole idea about mentoring, I was on the end where I was given mentoring and I think it was great. There was a lot of help. I know exactly how to fine tune my thoughts. And I would like to share the same thing. It's like paying it forward. I think that's important, particularly in this space. Likewise, in Lean, there's a he for she program, which is fantastic too, because you get different perspective. You get around with various groups or interest groups that it could be vital for your workplace and you understand each other's pain and help each other through. So that's fantastic. I love that. Yeah. I don't know. How about on your end? What's going on in Delhi? That'd be quite cool to know. Hmm.
So actually, on our side as well, in terms of bringing gender parity across, first of all, in the workforce, I think there are a
Hmm.
lot of inclusivity development programs that are running.
Hmm.
Having said that, because it has taken years, probably actually decades and centuries of uneven bias as far as women are concerned, therefore some of the initiatives are going to be unevenly now biased towards upliftment of women. And I think men need to understand that. Therefore, he for she programs are extremely relevant. People need to
Hmm.
understand because of this general bias and therefore the disparity that exists, whether it be women pay or women at the workforce, this needs to be reversed.
Hmm.
Having said that, I think it's also time to not consider women just as a gender pick in jobs,
Agree.
and
Yeah.
therefore their qualifications being
Mm.
merit driving their appointments in important positions,
Mm.
leadership positions included. Now,
Mm.
having said that, I think it's also therefore important to mentor them, coach them, bring them up to speed with regards
Mm.
to what is really required. And that's where I think the pay it forward initiatives are really important. If any
Mm.
of us have come to this position, then it's our responsibility to move the elevator down and keep pressing on the switch so the elevator keeps moving down and
Mm.
brings more women up. Now, having said that, I think also smaller things which are more inclusive in nature, which aren't as explicitly gender typed, such as
Mhm.
innovation hackathons, such as making sure that
Oh
women
yeah, true.
participate in
Mm.
writing, women participate in speaking, women speak up. Small
Mm.
technical courses that are done in order to encourage women to have like no coding hackathons that are run in order to
Mhm.
prototype or put together their thoughts and ideas in terms of framing a business case, being able
Mhm.
to extend technology much beyond coding. I think that's where some of us are working on in order to really bring development and innovation to women in the way that they understand it instead of being fearful of it.
Oh, I totally agree with that. And yeah, just like any note, I would think that women should just embrace the differences we have. And likewise, as a note that I have for men in the workplace, just embrace the differences we have, the different skill set we can bring to the place. Whichever part of tech you are in, it would be great if we could actually recognize that and play up one another's strength, because it's about collaboration, it's about partnership, it's about bringing to the next level. I mean, in a workplace or at home, it's like a marriage. You kind of have to just work off each other's skills, right? That's how I see it. I mean, yeah, that'll be lovely to see that in tech as future years come and we do not fall into the old silo where men typically are X profession and women are typically that way. We hope that our daughters will get into the next better place, particularly in the tech space where it is a platform for the next growing generation.
Absolutely. And Lynette, what are some of your parting thoughts? What would you like to tell women who are right now probably either in tech or not in tech? How do you get there? What is it that inspires you, keeps you going?
What inspires me to keep me going? I think I don't see myself particularly like a woman or man in this space, that I just want to have the resources and the skill set to move forward, to create an impact, to be better in what I'm doing, especially in this space. And that's all. So I don't delve too much into that. That just embrace my skill set and accept the other skills that other people can share along the way so that we can actually bring an impact to the world. That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. And as far as I'm concerned, I would actually only tell women one thing.
Hmm.
And I've heard this a lot of times in the US, and it's very simple, but you are enough.
Hmm.
Every time a
Oh yeah,
woman
that's
doubts
true.
herself, we bring ourselves into the position where we think that we are lesser than any other human being, and then also lesser as a gender. We are not. And if we keep embracing the fact that we are different from other people, but there are skills that we have that others don't, and more importantly, we have the ability to be able to develop anything, any skill,
Mm.
any learning in the world in order to
Mhm.
become who we are. We should feel that we are, and we are more importantly deserving of the space that we really should occupy for ourselves. So any woman, any girl that I meet, there are always self doubt, and there is
Mhm.
always that question, why me? Do I deserve it? And that imposter syndrome that always rises. For
Yeah.
me, it is whether it is tech or any other career. If you need to rise in leadership, you should know that you are enough the way you are.
Yep.
Progressive development in terms of leadership
Mhm.
skills, in terms of coaching skills, in terms of mentoring, being a mentee, being a mentor can be
Mhm.
developed. But what can't be developed later on is having the confidence. So we need to keep reinstilling this confidence again and again.
Agree. I'm glad we are so aligned on this page. Yes, imposter syndrome is one of the worst thing, and I think one of the
Absolutely.
stuff that we could leave everybody here would be to tell them that don't let it get over in your life. Don't let the imposter syndrome affect and impact you at the end of the day, because we are equal and we will get there. We do need to feel the same skill set. We are not asking for concessions, but we just want to move forward. And please give us the same resources so that we can. That's all, right?
Absolutely. Very, very, very well
Yeah.
said.
Oh, nice. We should carry on the chat another time, Monica. This is
Absolutely.
really lovely. Enjoyed talking to you.
Same here, Lynette. It was a pleasure.
All right. See ya.
See you.